Francisco Symphony, Michael Tilson Thomas, conductor, and formerly Tomaszewski, of course. Every instrument, every section has a role. If what you need ultimately is you have trumpets, you have violins, you have oboes, you have bassoons, etc. You need a conductor that he goes like this to this and like this to this. And what Natan was talking about when he got out, by being quote unquote independent and being himself, as Avital advised him, he was able to get both groups to maximize the total output.
And I'll say from where I sit at Federation, you know, the great lesson to me of this movement was the people-to-people connection. I think Natan described it very accurately, that were it not for that connection of American Jews and other Jews meeting with Soviet Jews and feeling that connection, this movement never would have happened, because that's, to me, what fueled it. Not dissimilar with Israel. There's a disconnect for many American Jews with Israel where they really don't know them personally. All they know is all the political arguments. And what we're trying to focus now on is to have that connection. Whatever point of view you end up adopting, because we will inevitably disagree, at least we can agree that we're connected in one.
Yeah, I want to say, I learned it in the Soviet Union, in our movement. Never struggle for absolute unity. If we were struggling, some people were, let's first unite in one organization. Or American Jews, Russian Jews, and fighting. If we had the aim, first let's unite, we would still be building our unity in Soviet Union and sitting there. So the fact that Jews are speaking so many different voices, it's good. We could reach establishment and grassroots and religious and non-religious, and those who were interested only in civil rights movement and were not interested in Zionism, and those who were interested only in Zionism and didn't care about human rights, they all could, in fact, be parallel together. And the same is true about today on the campus. There are so many organizations, David Project, and Stand With Us, and Caravan for Democracy, and you name it. They're all very good, but I constantly hear, can't you unite all of them? No, we cannot unite, and we should not try to unite. And the problem is not that there are so many voices, because they all have a role. The problem is that there are so many Jews who are not sure that it is good to speak openly in support of Israel. So that is our old problem. But okay, that's another debate.
Thank you. So I know there are other questions, but with apologies to those who have them, but with apologies to you, he has a hard stop at 10 o'clock. And so I just want to make sure that you have a chance to make a final comment before
but let's ask some questions,
Yes?
and I'll answer all of them immediately.
It's not about the past, but about the future.
Yeah.
Last year in Limmud in LA, in your territory, the same thing like another guy, which was very helpful. Natan came out with a big statement, with a big press conference about the new settlement in the country.
Yeah, that was just in those days.
Why I related it to it? Because what bothers me, speaking United, not United, most of the participants here in this conference, as well as in LA, and the movement that worked for Soviet Jewry, most of them were Reform and conservative Jews. They actually ran the campaign. Okay. So they did their job, and now they're becoming second citizen in Israel when we come into the country. How can you leave it?
Okay.
You asked for it.
Yeah, okay. No, okay. Chaim, huh?
Yeah. Explain the question.
No, explain it. Chaim,
He's explaining.
Chaim wants to bring us back to our tough political reality in Israel, and it's easy for him because he is not from the party of our prime minister. But it is almost as important for me, or even more important for me, because I am from the party of prime minister. But we have a big problem of recognizing politically, I'm not speaking about religiously, politically, the place of reform the conservative movement in Israel. And I'm dealing with this for the last 25 years, from Wadat Neman, from 97. In the last few years, the symbol of all this problem was the praying place near the Kotel. Prime Minister asked me, as the head of Jewish Agency 5 years ago, if there is any way to bring all the sides to the one table. It took me a few months to bring them to one table. It took us 4 years to negotiate the compromise. The compromise was very good. Prime Minister spent a lot of his personal energy to make it happening. The government had a historic vote just in the time of Limmud in Los Angeles, so I was speaking through satellite, I think. The only case in the history of Israeli governments when somebody speaks through Skype to the government meeting. Government voted for this, and recently, 3 months ago, under the pressure, blackmail of some ultra-Orthodox parties, cancelled it. So I'm asked how you can live with this. From our experience, it's a long process. It's not simply because ambition of one or another politician. There is deep feeling in Israel. That was how Israel was built, that in order to be one people, we need one language, one culture, one religion, one chief rabbinate. That was position of Ben-Gurion, not somebody. And that's why if we don't go to synagogue, we don't go to Orthodox synagogue. That was the philosophy. And on the other hand, there is philosophy of world Jewry, of pluralism, that if you really want to survive as Jew, you have to find your way and your niche. We are trying to make this compatible together. And here is, of course, a place for political blackmail and for different games. You have to be optimistic. What helped us with Soviet Jewry to be optimistic? I didn't tell about many desperate moments when, my God, here for the first time, American senators came to Moscow, and I was asked secretly to organize a meeting with them, and we organized this meeting, and then in the last moment, one of the group of refusers says, no, we must have separate meeting, exactly like this, but we are under KGB, it's top secrecy, first time in history. Later, of course, it will be all part of my criminal charge in high treason. But it's such a great moment. And at that moment, Jews say, no, we cannot sit together. Not only we cannot pray together, we cannot sit in one room because we don't trust one another. So, by the time when all the sides understand that they have bigger mutual interest, and I believe that in this case, Israeli government and diaspora, leaders of diaspora Jewry have much bigger interest than the problems of political blackmail some ultra-Orthodox parties. But we have to work better and to continue pressure, and you continue pressure from your parties, and I'll continue from ours.
So,
Yeah.